Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. It's truly wonderful to have you with us today.
It really is.
If you're joining this discussion, it's probably because you have that, hunger for knowledge, that desire to really unpack complex ideas.
Or maybe looking for that aha moment.
Exactly, where things just click. We love having you here. And, well, if you find value in this, please take a quick moment, like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment.
And share it. It helps others find these discussions too, building that community of learners.
It really does. Okay, so today we're embarking on a truly profound discussion. We're journeying through one of the most, foundational texts in history, the Bible.
Specifically Genesis chapter 8.
Yes, and we're looking at it through the New Living Translation, which I find offers a really clear, accessible perspective on this familiar story. But it's a story with layers.
Oh, definitely. Layers upon layers.
Our mission today, as always, is to carefully pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this incredible passage. We want to offer you a thoughtful path to understanding its lasting significance.
Right. And our goal here is really to synthesize all that rich information, help you see the patterns, connect the dots. We want you to think not just about what happened, but maybe more importantly, why it matters. And crucially, what could it mean for us, today?
Thousands of years later.
Exactly. We're diving into restoration, divine action, and, a new beginning for everything.
So let's open up this remarkable chapter, Genesis 8, verse 1. It starts with such a powerful, often thought about statement. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and livestock with him in the boat. He sent a wind to blow across the earth, and the floodwaters began to recede. That opening phrase, God remembered Noah. It carries so much weight, doesn't it?
It really does, and it's crucial to understand it. It's not like, God had forgotten and suddenly went, oops.
Right, like finding lost keys.
No, it's about God's active attention. His divine favor turning decisively, intentionally back towards Noah and everything with him.
It marks a real shift, a pivotal moment, moving from that period of, judgment and cataclysm
To active preservation, active restoration.
active is the key word there.
Absolutely. The active nature of this remembering is central. It's not just recalling something, it's a deliberate act, an intervention.
Like God re-engaging.
Precisely, re-engaging with his plan, his covenant, pivoting from the necessary judgment of the flood to, an act of grace, even before any dry land is visible.
And how does this remembering manifest?
He sends a wind. Now, wind is natural, obviously, but here, it's clearly presented as a divine instrument. This isn't just random weather.
It's orchestrated.
Divinely orchestrated, a direct result of God's renewed focus. This single act, this wind, it marks the beginning of the end of the flood, the very start of restoration. It's literally turning the tide.
And can you just imagine the psychological impact inside that ark on Noah, his family, all those animals?
After months of just water, relentless deluge.
The sheer feeling of a wind starting to blow, that subtle shift in the air, the sound against the wood, maybe the way the ark moved differently.
It wouldn't just be environmental changes.
No. It must have been this immense, palpable sign, tangible hope.
The first real hint of a new world.
Yeah. This single divine act, it sets the whole tone for the chapter, doesn't it?
It really does.
It signals God is actively reversing the devastation, turning his hand now towards careful, methodical renewal.
It's a clear move from chaos back toward order, a divinely reestablished order.
Imagine that constant roar of water finally being broken by the sound of wind, a life-giving sound.
A promise on the breeze, almost.
In this active intervention, it has immediate physical consequences, which the text details right away, verses 2 and 3a.
Right. The underground water stopped flowing and the torrential rains from the sky were stopped.
So it clarifies the source, not just rain.
No, this dual source. Atmospheric rain, yes, but also these immense underground waters. It hints at massive geological shifts.
And then that key word you mentioned earlier.
Gradually. So the floodwaters gradually receded from the earth.
Gradually. It wasn't instant. No magic snap of the fingers.
No, a slow, deliberate, really drawn-out process.
And that word gradually, it really makes you pause, doesn't it? It prompts the question, why? Why so methodical?
Why not just make it all dry instantly?
Yeah. What does this gradual approach tell us about divine restoration?
Well, it suggests natural processes working alongside, or maybe guided by, divine will.
Okay.
It gives time. Crucial time for the whole global ecosystem to stabilize, for the Earth itself to start recovering from something so catastrophic.
It's not a jarring reversal then.
No, it's thorough, almost organic, respecting the natural order even while being supernaturally guided.
What would that have looked like during that slow retreat?
Vast stretches of mud, I imagine. Thick, clinging mud. Receding water everywhere. Maybe an eerie quiet. Broken only by lapping water.
Slowly revealing bits of land.
Exactly. This gradual aspect really highlights the sheer scale of the flood and the time needed for a landscape like that to emerge, firm up, become stable again.
And this patient process, it unfolds over a very specific timeline in the text.
It does. The narrative gives these remarkably precise chronological markers. Verses 3b through 5.
After 150 days, exactly 5 months from the time the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountains of Ararat.
150 days. 5 months. Very specific.
And then 2.5 months later, as the waters continued to go down, other mountain peaks became visible.
Another specific period. This precision, it emphasizes the meticulous record keeping. It grounds the story, gives it a sense of historical weight.
It feels documented.
Yes. And the landing spot, the mountains of Ararat, that's significant too.
A specific place, not just a mountain.
Right. It signifies a stable high point, a safe haven, and a logical place for the next phase of the story to start unfolding, moving from global water to specific geography.
A divinely chosen resting place.
You could say that.
And think about the feeling inside the ark then. Finally feeling solid ground beneath them after months adrift. Immense relief, surely.
Oh, undoubtedly. But also...
Still stuck, still confined.
Exactly. Even after landing, the Earth is mostly water. What's the view?
Just water. Receding? Yes, but still vast. With Ararat as their anchor, their island.
And then, slowly, tantalizingly, other peaks start appearing.
Like little islands rising up.
It must have been such a powerful visual sign of progress, a hint of the world reemerging.
Even if home was still a long way off. Stranded, yet safe.
It's a paradox, really.
Oh, yeah.
But with the ark settled, the next phase could begin. Waiting. Observing.
And Noah, he doesn't just sit there. He acts, but carefully, using the creatures he has with him.
Right. These reconnaissance missions, you could call them. Very wise.
Well, let's unpack that first mission, the raven.
Yeah.
Genesis 8, verses 6 and 7.
Okay.
After another 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the boat and released a raven. 40 days. That number pops up a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Often signifies testing, preparation, transition.
So after this waiting period, out goes the raven. And its behavior is intriguing. The bird flew back and forth until the floodwaters on the earth had dried up.
Back and forth, so it found places to land, but...
In return to the ark.
Right. It could sustain itself out there.
Right.
Which implies something was exposed, debris maybe, carrion.
So why a raven first? What does this behavior actually tell Noah?
Well, ravens are scavengers, hardy birds.
Yeah.
They can feed on things that might be exposed as water recedes.
Okay.
So its self-sufficiency, its failure to return, it doesn't necessarily mean dry land suitable for us. It just means conditions were good enough for it to survive outside the ark.
So it's an ambiguous signal.
Very ambiguous. It confirms some exposure, but not the full picture Noah needs. Not about habitability, just survivability for a scavenger.
A partial answer?
Leaving a lot still unknown.
So the raven not coming back, it offers a hint maybe, but mostly uncertainty. Imagine Noah watching it, seeing it out there day after day, but never coming back.
Mixed signals. The world is returning perhaps, but it's not ready for them yet.
But that ambiguity was important, wasn't it? It pushed Noah to try again with a different messenger.
Exactly. One whose nature would give a clearer answer.
Which brings us to the dove, symbolic of peace, gentleness.
A very different bird. Verses 8 and 9 describe its first try.
He also released a dove to see if the water had receded and it could find dry ground.
A specific mission. Find dry ground.
But the dove could find no place to land because the water still covered the ground. So total failure on the first try.
Yes. So it returned to the boat, and Noah held out his hand and drew the dove back inside.
That contrast is powerful. The dove needs dry ground. The raven didn't, necessarily.
Right. Doves rely on specific habitats. Clear ground, vegetation, fresh water. Its inability to land, that's critical information.
It tells Noah plainly, still too much water. Unstable. Not ready for life beyond the ark. A clear message this time.
Unambiguous failure. Unlike the raven's ambiguous success.
And that little detail, Noah reaching out his hand, drawing the dove back in. What does that show us?
Tenderness, care, responsibility. A bond between humanity and the creatures in this shared survival. The dove returning really highlights that the ark is still the only refuge. the only safe, dry place.
You can picture it, can't you? The tired little bird fluttering back, landing on his hand. A silent message. Not yet. But also that connection, that shared hope within the ark.
But Noah isn't deterred. He shows incredible patience, faith.
And that patience pays off, big time, in one of the most iconic images ever, verses 10 and 11.
The turning point.
After waiting another 7 days, Noah released the dove again. Another 7 days, that number again, often means completion, perfection.
A deliberate pause, divine timing perhaps.
This time the dove returned to him in the evening with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. The olive leaf.
That's at the moment.
Then Noah knew that the floodwaters were almost gone. A huge moment. Definitive. Tangible.
And so symbolic, that fresh olive leaf, it's not just any leaf, it's vibrant green. It screams new growth, life reemerging.
A habitable environment.
Exactly. Tangible proof that vegetation is returning, thriving, which means dry land is abundant enough to support plant life. This is the signal Noah needed.
The definitive sign, the world being reborn.
And it's amazing how that single leaf, carried by a dove, became this universal symbol of peace, of new beginnings, way beyond just this story.
It speaks to something deep in us, doesn't it? That need for hope after devastation.
Absolutely. And why an olive leaf? Olive trees are incredibly hardy, resilient.
They can survive harsh conditions, regenerate quickly, send up new shoots even after damage.
It speaks volumes about the resilience of nature, of life itself. Even after catastrophe, life finds a way, powerfully, undeniably, ready for renewal.
You can just imagine Noah's face, seeing that green leaf after months of uncertainty, concrete evidence.
That vibrant green against the dark wood of the ark. Not just pretty a promise, a monumental promise of a new world.
And then the final mission seals it.
Yes, verse 12, the conclusive proof. He waited another 7 days and then released the dove again.
Another 7 days patient.
This time, it did not come back.
That's it. The ultimate confirmation. The all clear.
No ambiguity this time.
The world outside isn't just surviving, it's hospitable. The dove found a home.
Yes. The dove's non-return confirms conditions are fully restored. It found sustenance, shelter, a future. It signals the earth is ready to be repopulated.
It's almost like a child leaving home, isn't it? A sign of maturity, independence. The earth can stand on its own now.
That's a great analogy. What do you think Noah felt at that final release? Readiness, surely. Relief, immense relief. But maybe?
A touch of bittersweetness. Saying goodbye to the messenger.
Perhaps. That empty window where the dove used to return, now it signifies not loss, but a world reborn.
No.
Vibrant, full of potential.
And with the earth confirmed dry, the next huge phase begins. Disembarkation.
And the text gives us this final confirmation with such meticulous detail again, emphasizing the sheer length of this whole experience.
Right, let's really get into this final timeline. Genesis 8, verses 13 and 14. Noah was now 601 years old.
601, a marker of his long life, the epic scale.
On the first day of the new year, 10.5 months after the flood began, the floodwaters had almost dried up from the earth.
Specific dates again, first day of the year, reinforces that historical weight.
Noah lifted back the covering of the boat and saw that the surface of the ground was drying. He sees it himself now.
A personal confirmation. After relying on the birds, seeing it with his own eyes, turning hope into reality.
2 more months went by, and at last the earth was dry.
2 more months, even after seeing it drying, the total time is immense.
Over a year. If you calculate from chapter 7, it's around 13 months total before it's completely dry.
It just underscores the scale of commitment, perseverance, faith. Not just from Noah, but everyone, every creature on that ark.
What would that landscape have looked like after so long underwater?
Barren, initially. Desolate. Cracked mud, slowly hardening, but then gradually. Those first signs of green. Regeneration?
Imagine Noah pulling back that heavy covering, squinting in the sunlight after so long in the dim ark.
Seeing not mud, but dry, firm earth.
A solid foundation. Finally. Such a powerful image of renewed hope.
And with the earth confirmed dry, the crucial divine command arrives, ending the confinement, starting a new era.
And notice, it's not Noah deciding, okay, time to go.
No. It's initiated by God, a direct authoritative decree, emphasizing his sovereignty throughout.
This is where the story really shifts into gear. God's plan for repopulation. Genesis 8, verses 15 to 17, unequivocal.
Read it for us.
Then God said to Noah, leave the boat, all of you. You and your wife and your sons and their wives.
The command.
Release all the animals, the birds, the livestock, and the small animals that scurry along the ground so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth.
Not just an option, a command. And that phrase,
Be fruitful and multiply.
a direct echo of Genesis 1, the original creation mandate.
It's a recommissioning, a new beginning for life on a cleansed earth, a mandate to fill the world again.
And it raises that important question again. Why wait for the command? The earth was dry. Noah saw it.
But he waits.
He waits. It emphasizes divine sovereignty. Noah doesn't just decide based on his observations. He waits for God's explicit instruction.
Underlining that the whole process, start to finish, is under divine control and timing.
Exactly. And that command, be fruitful and multiply, it's so significant. It's not just about biology. It's a recommissioning of creation itself, signaling renewal, expansion, flourishing across the whole earth.
A divine imperative for growth, for vitality.
So what does that command imply about the purpose of surviving all this?
It's not just about enduring, is it? It's about thriving, rebuilding, actively filling the earth again, purposefully.
Imagine how Noah felt hearing that after over a year cooped up.
Immense purpose, surely, but also just overwhelming relief, liberation.
You can almost feel the anticipation building in the ark, the stirring, the sense of freedom in the air.
And then the departure itself, it's described so carefully.
Yes, not chaotic, not a mad dash. It's purposeful, systematic, almost ceremonial.
So what's the deeper meaning there? Verses 18 and 19. So Noah, his wife, and his sons and their wives left the boat.
The human family first.
And all of the large and small animals and birds came out of the boat, pair by pair.
Orderly, complete, not a scramble, systematic. And that phrase, pair by pair,
Echoes their entrance into the ark. Reinforces the precision, preserving every kind.
and connecting it back. This orderly departure mirrors the divine order, the meticulous design we see in the Genesis creation story. The animals leaving pair by pair, it's a powerful visual, reinforcing the ark's core purpose, preserving every kind of life for repopulation.
It's not just getting off the boat, it's a restart, a recommencement of the natural world.
A new Genesis for all living things. Picture it. The ramp down, the sounds of hundreds, thousands maybe of animals emerging, fresh air, stretching their legs after so long,
All that diversity pouring out onto the land,
Yeah.
big ones, small ones.
stepping onto new earth, taking that first free breath. It's the very first step in repopulating the entire earth, a pivotal moment.
And stepping into this new, clean world. Noah's first act. Not building shelter, not planting.
No, something else entirely. An act of worship, gratitude,
Setting the tone for humanity's renewed relationship with God.
based on recognition, thanksgiving.
So let's unpack that very significant first act. Verse 20. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord.
Immediately, his first priority.
And there he sacrificed as burnt offerings the animals and birds that had been approved for that purpose.
It wasn't building a house or planting crops or even just surveying the land. It was building an altar, offering sacrifice.
It prioritizes worship, gratitude, above all else. A powerful statement.
And fascinating, isn't it? He immediately, instinctively establishes that connection with the divine through worship before meeting any physical needs.
And the specifics matter too. Burnt offerings from clean animals.
Right. Those designated for sacrifice. It signifies atonement, thanksgiving within their understanding. It's profound piety, an acknowledgement of divine deliverance, sovereignty, dependence.
Why was that so important right then?
It recognizes God's power over life and death, expresses heartfelt thanks for being preserved. It shows humility, a renewed commitment.
Suggesting humanity's first role, even in a new beginning, is worship, honoring the Creator, stewardship under God.
I think so. Picture Noah, his family, maybe the animals watching. Smoke rising from the altar, a visible sign of gratitude, reverence in that silent, reborn world.
And this act of worship, it evokes a powerful response from God, leading to a foundational promise.
A response that shapes everything moving forward, a huge turning point. Verse 21.
And the Lord was pleased with the aroma of the sacrifice.
And anthropomorphism. God experiencing pleasure, showing acceptance of the offering, engaging directly.
And said to himself, It's interesting, he speaks to himself, I will never again curse the ground because of the human race.
An internal decision revealed. Monumental.
Even though everything they think or imagine is bent toward evil from childhood, he acknowledges the core problem, the reason for the flood.
Exactly. He confirms the reason for the judgment, yet.
I will never again destroy all living things. Despite knowing humanity's nature, he commits to never using this method again, a flood.
It's a massive covenantal shift.
Absolutely critical, that internal monologue. It reveals a change in divine strategy. Despite acknowledging humanity's fallen nature bent toward evil from childhood, God consciously decides against another global flood destruction.
It signifies a commitment to a new way of interacting. Preservation, patience, grace, not just hitting reset over and over.
A long-term plan for redemption, maybe, rather than repeated catastrophe.
That seems to be the implication. It's a huge promise, a turning point. It acknowledges the challenge of human nature, but promises a different kind of divine engagement based on endurance.
So what does that mean for justice and mercy going forward?
It suggests a new covenant, working with humanity as it is, not constantly resetting the vastness of this promise against that fragile, newly restored world. It's profound, God's unchangeable word, his patient commitment, despite our flaws.
And this internal vow then becomes external, manifested in a promise about nature itself, a guarantee for the future.
A promise underpinning existence as we know it, the foundation for civilization.
So what does this mean for us, thousands of years later? Verse 22, this incredible universal assurance.
The guarantee that governs our world.
As long as the earth remains, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night.
It doesn't just establish these cycles, it guarantees them. Perpetual cycles, not just observations, divine promises.
Yeah.
Stability, predictability.
As long as the earth remains. That's powerful, a statement of permanence, cosmic guarantee.
It's God establishing the fundamental, stable, dependable order of the natural world, not just seasons, but cosmic constancy, a reliable rhythm.
Implying a dependable world for humanity to live in.
Cultivate.
Thrive.
Exactly. The foundation for agriculture, civilization, the rhythm of life, planning for the future, it underpins everything.
So despite human failings, the basic structures of existence remain reliable.
Yes, allowing for that continuous cycle of life, renewal, effort. The physical world at its core will be steadfast. That's the promise.
It's incredible when you think about it. Those rhythms we take for granted. Planting, expecting harvest, sun rising and setting, seasons changing.
All guaranteed by this ancient, profound promise. Stability in a world that often feels chaotic.
What an absolutely amazing journey through just one chapter, Genesis 8.
Truly amazing.
From that gentle wind of God's memory starting the restoration.
Through Noah's patience, the raven, the iconic dove.
To the orderly disembarkation onto dry land.
And finally, that eternal promise, guaranteeing the rhythms of life for all creation.
We've seen the meticulous detail in God's plan.
The incredible resilience of life itself.
And that foundational covenant, guaranteeing the cycles of nature, letting humanity flourish despite its challenges.
It's not just survival, it's recreation. Divine patience, enduring, unbreakable promise across time.
So you've heard about the patience, the process, the promises in this discussion. Here's something for you to maybe mull over. If the divine act of restoring an entire earth was so gradual, so detailed, so incredibly patient, what does that tell us about the nature of true transformation? Whether it's a landscape, a difficult situation, or even changes within our own lives.
That's a deep thought.
What might this discussion inspire you to consider about patience? About promise, about new beginnings in your own journey.
An excellent thought to carry forward.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep and meaningful discussion today. We really appreciate you taking the time.
We really do.
If you found value here, please take that moment, like, subscribe, share it with others, and leave your comments. We love hearing your thoughts. What stood out to you in this ancient text?
We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to unpack together.
Until then, keep digging for knowledge.